No more blue pants, no more white shirts, no more "Oh Canada." What has happened to Mr. Bradford? Chairperson, honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow students. During the Paralympics, I had the privilege to see Roberto Luongo in person, and I got to thinking, what if Roberto Luongo, the amazing Canucks goalie, were our principal? You all know our principal now, Mr. Bradford. No offense, great guy. I love his fancy shirts and ties and all. But can you imagine how cool it would be if Roberto Luongo were our principal? Imagine the possibilities. Things would be a little different at South Poplar with Luongo as principal. In the morning, we would be greeted by an air horn, just like at a hockey game. Going into our school, which is now painted green and blue with an enormous Canucks Orco arrow on the side, we would have to put on our indoor skates. Our indoor shoes wouldn't do us any good because the hallways would be paved in ice. You all know how we have dorm monitors and office monitors. Those monitors would stay the same, but we would have to add in a new monitor, the Zamboni monitor. Everybody would want this job because they would get to drive the Zamboni up and down the halls. The only problem is that the school would be kind of cold, but our new uniforms, our Canucks jerseys, gloves, and pads would keep us warm enough. It might be kind of hard to write or do math, but oh well. We would walk into our classroom and discover that it's a locker room. No desks, just benches and hockey bags. That might make it a little difficult to do our work, but we can live with that. Right now, we sing "Oh Canada" every morning, but with our new principal, we would listen to the Hockey Night in Canada theme song. Dun, 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 dun. When Mr. Luongo came into our classroom, we wouldn't greet him like this. "Good morning, Mr. Bradford." We would greet Luongo like this. "Good morning, Mr. Lou." Hey, I was thinking if Luongo were our principal, maybe, just maybe, he would get rid of the soccer field and put in a hockey rink where you could play hockey at recess and lunch. Sorry, Mr. B. We could play in the SHL, the South Poplar Hockey League, or we could shoot pucks at Lou. Wouldn't that be awesome? If you got in trouble, although who is going to disobey a 6'3" NHL goalie? You wouldn't have to sit in the principal's office all day. You would have to sit in the penalty box. Right there, 2 minutes for leaving your homework at your house. But of course, we would all behave so the penalty box would always be empty. We would be so good that the Student of the Month Assembly would have to be the Student of the Week Assembly. Actually, it would be called the 3 Stars Assembly. And if you got chosen, you would get your name carved onto the South Poplar Cup. And then you would skate all around the rink waving to your classmates. A victory lap. The year would be divided into 3 periods, not terms. And at the end of each period, we wouldn't get a boring old report card. We would get a stat sheet. And it would tell our parents how our hockey skills are coming along. And it would be signed by Roberto Luongo. Can you imagine how valuable those things would be? And what about PAC meetings? You know those meetings where all the parents decide stuff for our school with the principal? Well, those would now be a media scrum with Roberto Luongo. And I'll bet you a lot more dads would show up than they did when it was called a PAC meeting. Who wouldn't go to a meeting with Luongo? As you can see, having Lou as our principal would be pretty awesome. I can't wait to wear my Canucks jersey to school and become Zamboni monitor. But wait, if Roberto Luongo comes to South Poplar to be our principal, then does that mean that Mr. Bradford would be the Canucks goalie? I can just see it now. Mr. Bradford in the locker room, pumping up all the players by reading them a picture book.